Hey everyone, my name is Will. Welcome to Room and Goods. So with the recent launch of the Oculus Quest 2, where you just need a Wi-Fi connection and a smartphone, setting yourself up in VR is even easier, and not to mention it's more affordable. But over the years, I've collected a few things and tips along the way to help maximize my VR experiences, and today I want to share some of that with you, so let's get started. So most of you probably seen these VR fail compilation videos where someone falls or crashes through a wall. You know VR can get pretty immersive to the point where you can lose your sense of balance or where you are. So to avoid some of these accidents, you might want to consider a VR mat to define your playing area to center yourself in the room. The mat can basically provide a non-visual cue whether or not you're in a play space. So when you step off, it's a way you can feel that you're no longer centered in the room because of the soft cushion of the mat. And also, some VR mats have markers for your feet. You can't feel these things while playing in VR. So with this yellow marker, it indicates that you're centered on the mat, while the blue marker indicates whether or not you're facing forward. Plus, in order to differentiate the two markers, you can physically feel the yellow marker is larger than the blue marker. So basically, the mat can provide positional and directional awareness that you can use along with your Guardian. Also, you might notice that there's vertical lines that you can feel with your feet of what direction you're facing based on the grooves of the mat. Plus, there are added benefits to the mat because it is made of a soft foam cushion. It's definitely a lot more comfortable than just standing on a hard surface like hardwood floors. With this mat, it can result in longer playing sessions. Now, there are other mats as well, like anti-fatigue mats or exercise mats, or even take a regular floor mat if you don't feel like you need any of those markers. By having some type of mat, it can help with positional awareness, so you'll always know you're centered in the room. But if you're curious about this particular map, I'll leave a link below if you want to take a closer look. Tip number 2, Guardian System. Now, as I said, you can also use the Oculus Guardian System along with the mat to also get a visual alert if you get too close to walls or furniture. Depending on the play space, I usually trace the Guardian around 2 or 3 feet away from the mat. So basically with the Guardian along with the mat, I get a visual and a non-visual alert if I'm too close to something or if I'm off-centered. Now, you can also customize your Guardian settings. So once you set up your Guardian in your play space, you can change the sensitivity of your Guardian. Specifically, you can control things like distance sensitivity of your headset and controller. The lower your distance sensitivity means you won't be alerted until you get closer to the edge of the Guardian's boundary. Plus, you can control the speed sensitivity of your headset and touch controllers. The lower the speed sensitivity, you will receive a lot less alerts when making quick movements near the edge of the Guardian's boundary. Therefore, you may want to play with these settings to see which best fits you. Number 3, privacy. Since we're already in the home environment, let's talk about privacy. Now, as you know, you need a Facebook account in order to use your Quest 2. So you may want to check your settings under your privacy of how your activities in your headset is being displayed to the public. So if you go to settings, then choose device, and then go to privacy, you'll see a few options. So the first option is who will see your activity in VR, like which application you're using or have used. So what you can do is select only me or your friends in VR to be the only people to view your VR activities. Next setting is who can see or view your friends list on Oculus. Here again, you can change it to only me if you don't want others to see your friends list. Last option is who can see or search your Facebook name on Oculus. So this is referring to your Facebook first and last name that is linked to your Oculus profile. So if you don't want people seeing or using your real name to search for you, then you may want to change it to only me. For example, no one can search me by my real name, which is Will, but they can search for me through Room and Goods. By the way, you can change your profile name under your account. So if you log under your profile, you can change it here, but once you change it, it can't be changed again until after 6 months. Number 4, 90 Hz. Last thing I want to point out in the settings sections under experimental features, you have this 90 Hz refresh rate toggle button for the Quest 2. Oculus will eventually turn this feature on by default, but for now, you're going to have to turn it on manually. So if you do decide to turn it on, this only applies to the home environment and the Oculus browser, which means it will run smoother. Now, just so you know, Oculus will eventually enable this feature for other applications or games, but that's going to be launched in a later time because they have issues with the Guardian running at 90 Hz. When it does launch, you're going to definitely notice a difference when you're playing games. A higher refresh rates means a smoother VR experience and less chance of motion sickness. As a quick side note, you can force your 90Hz on the Oculus Quest 2 with the ADB command or using side quests, but not all games can run on 90Hz because many of them have not been updated to 90Hz. But there are games or apps out there like Superhot VR, Echo Arena, Virtual Reality Desktop, Beat Saber that can run on 90Hz because the developers have already updated their app to run at 90Hz. If you play active VR games like Synth Rider, Thrill of the Fight, it can get pretty warm or sweaty. So what do you do to cool yourself down? I think the most simple or the most inexpensive way is just put a fan right in front of you. Plus, many of you guys probably have fans lying around your home, but just be sure not to put it too close to you where you can accidentally hit it while in VR. Now, the fan not only keeps you cool, but it also provides an additional benefit of positional and directional awareness. So if you're facing forward, backwards, to the side, you can feel the direction of how the air is blowing against your face. Plus, if you no longer feel the air, it's a good indication that you're probably off-centered from the room. Now, another benefit of the fan for some people, it can help prevent motion sickness as cool air blows against the skin. We don't know exactly why it works, but it can possibly reduce the symptoms of motion sickness. Number 6, look at comfort ratings on games or apps. This will help decrease the chances of having motion sickness. There will be comfort ratings on each of the experiences. So if you select a game in the Oculus Store and go under more info, you'll notice these rating icons. For this particular game, it's rated comfortable, meaning it's appropriate for most people. Now there's also moderate and intense ratings as well. So let's quickly break it down a bit. For a comfort rating, it's appropriate for most people and it generally avoids camera movements and player motion. Moderate means it's appropriate for many people, not for everyone. There are some camera movements and player motion. And intense means it's not appropriate for most people, especially for people who are new to VR. Experiences will contain significant camera movement and player motion. So if you do get motion sickness or nausea during a game, just take a break, and it is suggested to take many breaks during the game. Perhaps close your eyes and relax a bit before you start again. Just give yourself enough time to get adjusted to VR, and there is a term called VR legs in which your brain and body needs time to get adjusted to VR experiences. Number 7. Now another quick tip if you have motion sickness when you're in VR, you can eat ginger and reduce the chance of getting it. So if you eat a ginger supplement or drink warm ginger tea an hour or two before you're playing VR, it can help. However, there are conflicting reports about this. Some say it really doesn't work, but you might want to give it a try because it is considered safe to try. Number 8. Avoid direct sunlight on the lenses of your headset. If you accidentally leave your headset somewhere where sunlight can focus onto your screen, it can permanently damage your lenses or leave burn marks. Now this can happen either indoors or outdoors. So I suggest picking a designated spot in your home where you or others can't accidentally leave it somewhere like facing towards a window or even leaving it outside. Now I do share my headset, so we picked a spot where we leave the headset in a dark corner of the home once the person's done with the headset. Now I also have VR stands to help keep everything together just to make sure that we don't happen to lose any of the touch controllers or any of the cables, because some of the VR stands you can just simply wrap the wires onto the stand itself. Plus it's easy access where you can just quickly grab the headset and controllers and just start playing. Number 9. Since we're on the topic of lenses, another thing you can do to protect the lenses is simply use a lens cover. It's another way of protecting it from the sun, plus it decreases the chance of accidentally scratching it, putting fingerprints on it, and collecting even more dust. Now I do have a couple lens protectors, but I do like the VR cover ones. This one came with VR facial interface kit for the Quest 1, so it doesn't perfectly fit, but I do have another one that is a bit smaller and it is for the Quest 2. If you are curious about this particular one, it's by a company called Solar. By the way, if you decide to get a VR cover facial interface from their website for your Quest 2, they will include free lens cover. However, yesterday on their site, they just released a lens cover for the Quest 2 for $9 US if you just want to purchase the lens cover. If you are interested in checking it out, I'll put a link below. Number 10. When you do clean your lenses from any dust or oils, it is recommended to use a microfiber cloth. You can't use any type of cloth where you can possibly scratch your lenses, and the microfiber cloth is not too expensive. You could get a 6-pack on Amazon for only about $9 US, plus you can wash and reuse them, so it can last for years. Now, the way I usually use them, if I want quick, easy access to them, especially during gameplay, I attach the microfiber cloth to the top of the head straps, just so I don't misplace it. This way you can keep everything close together, especially during gameplay. I find it's super tempting to just wipe it down with anything that's close to you. So what I did was take a piece of Velcro and make a loop around the top strap and then just simply attach it to the strap. Then slip the cloth between the loop, and it's pretty secure and hasn't fallen off during gameplay, and you could quickly put the cloth back in the loop. I know it's not the cleanest look, but I think it's a good way to keep it within arm's length, especially during gameplay. Number 11. You may want to hold off on buying a upgraded head strap until you properly try out the soft strap, because you may find the soft strap pretty comfortable, and this all really depends on your head shape and size, and if you are putting the soft strap on correctly by properly adjusting the straps around your head. And the best way to adjust it is actually putting the Quest 2 headset on first. So as you're putting it on, just make sure this part of the strap sits on the base of your head. Some people will put it too far up on their head. If it's too far up, the weight of the headset would sit at the top of the head, which can eventually be uncomfortable. Now you also need to play with the side straps a bit, so in order to tighten the strap, you will need to pull these outward, and to loosen, go inwards. Be sure to tighten it just enough where it doesn't shift around as you're rotating your head. And lastly, adjust the top strap for additional support, where it helps lift the weight of the headset off from the face. Number 12. If you try the soft strap and it still doesn't work out for you, then upgrade to a better strap, like the Deluxe Audio strap or the Halo strap, or perhaps the Elite strap once they fix the issue with the strap. Personally, I use the upgraded straps as I found it more comfortable and easier to get in and out of the headset. I'm not going to go into too much details about this because I have videos about the straps. I'll put a link of the videos in the description if you are interested. Number 13. Now if you decide not to get an upgraded strap, then I would suggest at least changing out the stock facial interface that provides better comfort, and for hygienic reasons like VR Cover's facial interface and phone replacement. Because the stock facial interface on the Quest 2 is like a sponge, absorbing things like sweat and oils, it can be difficult to clean. Now there are other ones out there, so you may want to take a look at those, but I do recommend VR Cover's version as I find it the most comfortable. Now currently some people are having issues with VR Cover's facial interface, and the company did address this issue. Some are reporting that colors from the foam are actually coming off. However, VR Cover has mentioned only a small fraction of the foams are affected, so as of right now it's not available on the Oculus Store or VR Cover's website, so hopefully the issue will get resolved where it's available again. And by the way, the website does indicate it will be shipping worldwide. Some people have mentioned they are having issues of getting the product through the Oculus Store because it was only shipped to certain locations. It has been estimated to go on sale at the end of November, but if you can't wait for the phone replacement ones, just yesterday VR Cover is now selling a silicone cover version, which is a medical grade silicone for the Quest 2. It's now on sale for $14 US. The silicone version is designed to wrap around the stock foam interface of the Quest 2 that's supposed to block out sweat from soaking through. I personally have it for the Quest 1, but my issue with this one is the loose fit around the stock facial interface, so I have to readjust it every time I put it on. So hopefully that issue with the Quest 2 version is fixed. And lastly, they are also selling the 100% cotton version for $19 US. It's designed to attach to the stock facial gasket. It comes in a pack of 2, so you can swap them out when needed. This version has elastic straps to securely fit around the foam, plus it's machine washable. Number 14. Grip covers, or also known as knuckle straps for your touch controllers, is actually an essential accessory for me. I like these type of straps because I no longer have to worry about dropping or throwing the touch controllers while in VR. Personally, I've seen plenty of things that can happen to controllers, so it's definitely a must-have for me. Now these grip covers also provide other benefits like better grip or protect the controllers from sweaty hands, especially if you play active VR games. This particular one I have is by AMVR, but there are other brands out there like the Mammut grips that are also available for the Quest 2 controllers. I actually just ordered a pair of those, so I'm looking forward to checking that one out. And number 15. Now I used to change my batteries on the Quest 1 touch controllers at least once a week, so I went through a lot of batteries, but with the Quest 2 controllers I've still yet to change them since I got the Quest 2. Facebook seemed to found a way to extend the battery life if you compare it to the Quest 1 controllers, which is great that the batteries last a bit longer, but if you have rechargeable batteries that's even better because in the long run it will save you a bit of money. So I got the Analoop rechargeable batteries in the 4-pack, so that way I always have a set of spare batteries to swap out for my touch controllers when the first pair runs out. And lastly, I just want to briefly mention about Wi-Fi 6. So with the new Snapdragon XR2 chip inside the Oculus Quest 2, it will support Wi-Fi 6 natively. Now with the upgraded Wi-Fi technology, it will speed up your Wi-Fi and experience lower latency, plus it's supposed to improve battery life for wireless devices, which fits right into the Quest 2. So I'm currently running at Wi-Fi 5, which means that when I'm playing games like Star Wars Squadron on the Quest, it will and has lagged. Now I read that Wi-Fi 6 is supposed to be 40% faster than Wi-Fi 5, which hopefully streaming VR games like Star Wars Squadron wirelessly from your PC to the Oculus Quest 2 will be a smoother experience along with higher quality visuals. So I received the Linksys Wi-Fi 6 mesh router that I will be testing, and some have recommended the Asus Raptor Wi-Fi 6 routers, so I'm just wondering if you guys have any recommendations in terms of routers. And if you already have one, let me know if you recommend the router that you're using. As always, if you liked the video, press the like button and consider subscribing. Talk to y'all later.